Technician Class Question Pool. Questions and correct answers only. July 1st, 2018 to June 30th, 2022. By K8TB. Last edited August 12, 2018. Subelement T7, Station Equipment, Common Transmitter and Receiver Problems, Antenna Measurements, Troubleshooting, Basic Repair and Testing, for Exam Questions, 4 groups. Which term describes the ability of a receiver to detect the presence of a signal? Answer: sensitivity. What is a transceiver? Answer: a unit combining the functions of a transmitter and a receiver. Which of the following is used to convert a radio signal from one frequency to another? Answer: mixer. Which term describes the ability of a receiver to discriminate between multiple signals? Answer: selectivity. What is the name of a circuit that generates a signal at a specific frequency? Answer: oscillator. What device converts the RF input and output of a transceiver to another band? Answer: transverter. What is meant by PTT? Answer: the push-to-talk function that switches between receive and transmit. Which of the following describes combining speech with an RF carrier signal? Answer: modulation. What is the function of the SSB/CWFM switch on a VHF power amplifier? Answer: set the amplifier for proper operation in the selected mode. What device increases the low power output from a handheld transceiver? Answer: an RF power amplifier. Where is an RF preamplifier installed? Answer: between the antenna and receiver. What can you do if you are told your FM handheld or mobile transceiver is over-deviating? Answer: talk farther away from the microphone. What would cause a broadcast AM or FM radio to receive an amateur radio transmission unintentionally? Answer: the receiver is unable to reject strong signals outside the AM or FM band. Which of the following can cause radio frequency interference? Answer: all of these choices are correct. Fundamental overload. Harmonics. Spurious emissions. Which of the following is a way to reduce or eliminate interference from an amateur transmitter to a nearby telephone? Answer: put an RF filter on the telephone. How can overload of a non-amateur radio or TV receiver by an amateur signal be reduced or eliminated? Answer: block the amateur signal with a filter at the antenna input of the affected receiver. Which of the following actions should you take if a neighbor tells you that your station's transmissions are interfering with their radio or TV reception? Answer: make sure that your station is functioning properly and that it does not cause interference to your own radio or television when it is tuned to the same channel. Which of the following can reduce overload to a VHF transceiver from a nearby FM broadcast station? Answer: band reject filter. What should you do if something in a neighbor's home is causing harmful interference to your amateur station? Answer: all of these choices are correct. Work with your neighbor to identify the offending device. Politely inform your neighbor about the rules that prohibit the use of devices that cause interference. Check your station and make sure it meets the standards of good amateur practice. What is a Part 15 device? Answer: an unlicensed device that may emit low-powered radio signals on frequencies used by a licensed service. What might be a problem if you receive a report that your audio signal through the repeater is distorted or unintelligible? Answer: all of these choices are correct. Your transmitter is slightly off frequency. Your batteries are running low. You are in a bad location. What is a symptom of RF feedback in a transmitter or transceiver? Answer: reports of garbled, distorted, or unintelligible voice transmissions. What should be the first step to resolve cable TV interference from your ham radio transmission? Answer: be sure all TV coaxial connectors are installed properly. What is the primary purpose of a dummy load? Answer: to prevent transmitting signals over the air when making tests. Which of the following instruments can be used to determine if an antenna is resonant at the desired operating frequency? Answer: an antenna analyzer. What, in general terms, is standing wave ratio, SWR? Answer: a measure of how well a load is matched to a transmission line. What reading on an SWR meter indicates a perfect impedance match between the antenna and the feed line? Answer: 1:1. Why do most solid-state amateur radio transmitters reduce output power as SWR increases? Answer: to protect the output amplifier transistors. What does an SWR reading of 4:1 indicate? Answer: impedance mismatch. What happens to power lost in a feed line? Answer: it is converted into heat. What instrument other than an SWR meter could you use to determine if a feed line and antenna are properly matched? Answer: directional wattmeter. Which of the following is the most common cause for failure of coaxial cables? Answer: moisture contamination. Why should the outer jacket of coaxial cable be resistant to ultraviolet light? Answer: ultraviolet light can damage the jacket and allow water to enter the cable. What is a disadvantage of air core coaxial cable when compared to foam or solid dielectric types? Answer: it requires special techniques to prevent water absorption. What does a dummy load consist of? Answer: a non-inductive resistor and a heat sink. Which instrument would you use to measure electric potential or electromotive force? Answer: a voltmeter. What is the correct way to connect a voltmeter to a circuit? Answer: in parallel with the circuit. How is a simple ammeter connected to a circuit? Answer: in series with the circuit. Which instrument is used to measure electric current? Answer: an ammeter. What instrument is used to measure resistance? Answer: an ohmmeter. Which of the following might damage a multimeter? Answer: attempting to measure voltage when using the resistance setting. Which of the following measurements are commonly made using a multimeter? Answer: voltage and resistance. Which of the following types of solder is best for radio and electronic use? Answer: rosin core solder. What is the characteristic appearance of a cold solder joint? Answer: a grainy or dull surface. What is probably happening when an ohmmeter, connected across an unpowered circuit, initially indicates a low resistance and then shows increasing resistance with time? Answer: the circuit contains a large capacitor. Which of the following precautions should be taken when measuring circuit resistance with an ohmmeter? Answer: ensure that the circuit is not powered. Which of the following precautions should be taken when measuring high voltages with a voltmeter? Answer: ensure that the voltmeter and leads are rated for use at the voltages to be measured. This is the end of the Subelement 7 for the technician question pool.